Aloha and welcome. In this video, we're going to talk about IR containment and eradication techniques. So once we've determined that we've got an endpoint that's been contaminated or compromised, what we're going to do is we're going to quarantine it. So we're going to quarantine it by isolating that compromised endpoint or data to prevent further compromise. So once we've gone ahead and we've been able to eradicate it and contain it, then we can reintegrate it into our network. But first, we're going to have to do some stuff. So we may have to do a lot of reconfiguration before we reintegrate it. So some examples of things we may need to do. We may need to install required security updates as part of the patch management. Could be that we need to install some anti-malware updates. Might be that we need to configure a host-based firewall as part of host-based security, or perhaps we need to install EDR, ETDR for endpoint hardening. And it could be possible that we need to utilize disk encryption as part of disk hardening. So there's a number of things we may have to do here. So we can also use application approved lists. Application approved lists are both policy and configuration lists of that tell us what applications we can use in our organization. The other side of it is we could have an application deny list or an application block list. So that's going to be both the policy and a configuration of applications that we cannot allow in our organization that we've deemed risky. We also have configuration changes. So if we're talking about networking devices, sometimes you need to reconfigure them so that we can stop future events, incidents. That can include things like blocking malicious IP addresses in a firewall. You may need to update your firewall rules. You may need to convert some of your existing firewalls to something a little bit more complicated. Maybe this is a good chance for you to tell management, hey, we just had a regular plain Jane firewall, but if we really had one of those next generation firewalls, it could have prevented this. Maybe that's a good time to make that pitch to management that, we need a little bit more budget here. So, convert your existing firewall to an NGFW. It could be that you need to enhance your DLP techniques if you've got data loss going on there. Maybe you need to update your content or your URL filters. And it could be that you have to update your current certificates or revoke certificates that were involved in this incident. So, it's also, uh, this is a sad reality, but after a security incident, that's usually the best time you're going to get to shake money out of management. Often things happen because there isn't the budget to take care of things as they should be. So you may not get buy-in from the C-suite to make changes like install some of these things that some of the things that you need in in your network. But for example, a mobile device management system, that could harden your hardware and software resources. Yeah, it can help you with the configuration monitoring and the management of mobile devices, but maybe up until now you haven't been able to justify the cost of it. Let's say you had some kind of an incident that involved, your mobile devices. This could be a good time to get management to approve that in the budget for, going forward. So that's something to keep in mind. There's ways to, change your configurations and everything here. But, again, sometimes this is a good time to justify a little bit more budget from the C-suite. It's after an incident like this, after they see how much damage it causes, how much reputational damage, financial damages, and ancillary damages. After management sees this, sometimes they're more willing to cough up some money to do what they should have done from the beginning. So we're also going to talk here about security orchestration, automation, and response. So when you have something, when you're information gathering, you're going to be asking questions. You're going to have the 5 W's and the added H that they have. So that's what you already know: who, what, when, where, and why. And then you're going to add in the H for the how. So you add that all together in your creative, problem-solving approach. So your organization's security efforts should follow an information gathering and problem-solving approach using this 5W1H system. So one thing that helps in this is the security orchestration, automation, and response. What we talked about in the previous chapter, the SOAR technology that can help you coordinate, execute, and automate your tasks in a single platform between your people and your tools. And SOAR concepts are also applicable to incident response. So the components are going to be security, and that's going to be the organization's commitment to secure data and operations, Orchestration, the O part, and that's going to be the coordination of all security efforts to achieve the same security goal. Then you've got the A, which is automation, and that's using automated processes to streamline those security efforts to automate those responses for you. And then the R, the response, that's the IR component of SOAR that ensures that all incidents are going to be responded to. So that is it for this quick chapter. So again, just think when we're talking about IR containment and eradication techniques, we're talking about taking care of your endpoint security, and before you can reintroduce your infected system or compromised system into the network, you need to quarantine it first, contain that. You need to make some adjustments to it, whether that's adding in malware protection or anything that we talked about. Use your approve list or your deny lists for making software decisions there. Make configuration changes as needed. Maybe it's time to get a little bit more budget, to out of C-suite to do this kind of thing. And implement SOAR, the security orchestration, automation, and response is part of your who, what, where, when, why, and how. So keep that in mind. And that's it for this section. And we'll see you in the next. Aloha.